Okay, guys, welcome. Let's look at a few, one or two more tools up here, to complete our rigging course, right? Because for rigging, we need to also know how to edit and fix our capture, right? We will touch edit capture width, paint capture layer, okay? Paint capture layer. So it will ask us to select the geometry and press enter. This is the geometry, enter. You see, what happened is it gives us a paintbrush, and it also dropped a capture layer paint node here. Okay, so all of our edit and painting is happening inside this node. All right, so we created a tool, we capture the geometry. Now we want to edit it, so it comes before the last deformation. Okay, so we have a brush. At this point, we can select a, a bone we want to work on. Let's pick the bone 5, the last one here. You see it's selected, and you come into the properties. We can paint on the primitive, the bones. The operation is the capture region is the one we selected. It's the bone. We want to paint all the points. We want to give them one value. Okay, is from 0 to 1. We want to give them the full value to whatever point we paint on. Okay, the minimum 0. We can come in for the stroke. We can tell the brush to orient to the surface, okay, of the painting. So let's keep that. These are all direction of the brush, so you can go with no symmetry. And the brush size, the scroll kind of increase the brush size, and we are the front view right now. We can go to perspective if we want to. See, so maybe I want to adjust this side a little bit. What I will do is I will right click, and I have an option to use the left mouse to paint, to smooth, and to do other operation. The middle mouse to reduce and to do other operations. So now we are using the left mouse to paint. Let's shift to smooth. Maybe with smooth, we can smooth the areas. You see, smoothing will work for the bone number 4 too, as we are painting. If like maybe we want to smooth stuff around here, but trying to paint on bone number 4 with the value of 1, all these points will try to come to the bone number 5, and it will mess things up. So if we switch to painting and we try again, you see, so it's not good. You have to know that if we switch the bones and we have bone number 4 and we start painting around here, the same thing happen. So we don't want that. Okay, so let's get out from the paint scenario that we just seen, and let's try the edit capture weight. Okay, let's come to our last node and then call that 2. So it's asking us which points do we want to work on. Okay, so we have to select all the points we want to work on. So if we select all these points here and we call the spreadsheet, you see all these points here have one value. See, that is bone number 5. It's right here. It's 2 bones that are sharing right now, bone number 4 and bone number 5. The 5 have 1 for all the points so far. I think probably just a few, we'll find a few of them that are sharing a little bit. So far, just a few over here. Let's mess it up. Let's make all these points that belong here that have 1, let's give them 0 and see what happens. You see, they will jump around. So, because they won't know where to go. Okay, so let's do that real quick. And we select all of them. The last one we give it 0. So, and then 0. So they will all have 0 and they will jump to where they belong to. Okay, so this is a combination of the edit capture weight and paint capture layer. You will use both of them to get a better um, weight painting. Okay, back maybe after we capture, we have a scenario where one of the bones did not capture right. This is normally what happened. You see, your bones will not capture right, and you will see that the points that's supposed to go with it, they are somewhere. Some of the bones are taking it. Like this point right here is trying to go to point number 4, even though it belongs here. So let's get out real quick and let's call the edit capture weight. That's why I said it's a combination of them you will use to work right. So if it's asking to select a point, right? If we select this point, by the way, let's go back, make sure we are at the last node, which we are. Get out and call that node again, edit capture weight. So it's asking you to select a point. If we select this point, it's selected. So if we call the spreadsheet, we will see that part of it is trying to go to bone number 4. See, very little. That's why it's still down here. 00031 is trying to go to number 4. It is supposed to have all the 1 for bone number bone number 5, right? So if we bring bone number 5 up here, is 0. See, you don't have none of these. So all we have to do is give this point, make sure here is 0, enter. So let's say, okay, we figure all these things out. Now we want to paint these points to go back. Okay, we can go in, because we already called it before, we can go into the capture paint layer, select it and enter. We get our brush back, and we are working on bone number 5. We want all these points here to have one value go back to where they belong. So we want the opacity to be 1. Okay guys, so I'm trying to paint, but the points are not moving to the bone number 5. That is the fact that we have a capture override. Remember, I first started by painting and smoothing, and I did the messed up. I messed it up, and the points jump over here. So that points that jump over here was by an override. Okay, so if I turn off the override, you see the points go back to where they belong, right? So we messed it up, and the override for the capture came. All right, so the points move over here. So at this point, I was trying to just paint this stuff back, right? And because of the override, the paint is happening, but the override is here. So what we can do is we can take this capture layer out, the paint layer out. Okay, so all the operation that happened has already happened. See, they are now stored in here. So I can bring it down here after the override. You see, and now I can start painting. You see, some of the painting I already did is over here, and now some more are happening right now. Okay, so I can start painting all these stuff back. So that is something you have to note. So let's jump into the perspective, and let's say normally when you are painting, right, you grab these points, you see, and I'm not getting it. Maybe you try to be on all kind of, it happens a lot. You see, I grab it based on the views and stuff, right? So let's see a very simple way to send these points back to where they're supposed to go. So normally this is what happens. You scan or you capture and you move the leg, and some of the points are sticking out, right? If we get out from the last capture layer paint and we come to the last node, right? We have to be at the last node and get back to the object level, okay? So if we call back the edit weight again, okay, it will ask us to select a point. So maybe we are painting and we're having problem with these sticking points. We can use the edit capture weight to fix it real quick. Let's do it one at a time. I think we've already seen this scenario already. So we will select this point, call the spreadsheet. You know, the reason why it's not going back is because it's one right now, it's full. So we don't know where to go. That's why there's no bone linked to it. So we have to say, okay, we want it to link with our bone 5. So with your character, it will have a lot of bones, right? You will pick the one you want it to go. Bone 5. You see, bone 5 is 0. That's why it's still over here. There's no value for it. So we will give it 1, and it will jump right back to where it belongs. See? So let's do this one real quick. No bone. We want it on bone 5. Let's give it 1. See? So you will send all the messed up, in your painting to where they belong. Let's see where this point belongs. Okay, part of it belongs to bone number 4. We don't want it to be there. Let's give it 0 for bone number 4. 0, enter. See, and it jump back to where it belongs. Okay. No bones. Call bone number 5 and give it 1. See, so you fixed all your stuff right away. Okay, so guys, that is how you will use these tools, right? So I'll see you in the next class, where I think we will wrap up this course, because at this point you can rig and do all kind of stuff, right? Okay, guys, welcome. In this class, let's look at character picker. Okay, so if you don't know about character picker, let me show you guys a quick example, real quick. Okay, so we come up here to the shelf, come to characters, and let's click on the female, the simple female. Okay, so we have a simple female in the scene. As you can see, it is also a digital asset, right? The only thing different from ours is that it's using a nice icon we did with the default, and it's also have an input. For the input, we can give our writer or our digital assets an input. But this course and this class is really not about digital assets. Remember, I refer you guys that if you want to know a little bit about this stuff, check the direct modeling course. I talk a little bit about it, but let's spend a little time about it, okay? Because you guys want to know too what is going on with what you created, right? So we can give it an input, and an input will allow you to connect this character to something. So if that thing moves, it will move with it. So like the child parent thing. So if you bring the mouse here, it will read parent input. All right. So let's try get that for our rig. Okay. And also it will allow us to check what's going on inside our rig. But we can't do anything to it right now because it's locked, just like this one is locked. Okay, so how do you work on it? You have to allow editing of the content. Okay, you have to unlock it. So it takes a little time and it unlocks it for you. But before we do our input, let's jump in real quick so that you guys see, the new guys, you guys see what's going on inside. Okay, so you double click it and I'll blow this network up. Control B. Okay. Okay, so you guys see it's very complex. It have over 300, stuff going on. The bones are a little bit, but the controls and other stuff, you remember all the fingers got controls and all that. That's why it's very complex. So we're gonna build our own simple rig, right? These are all controls. That's why we are able to control so many things. But let's go inside and see. This is the character, the digital access copy, and bind the skin to it, geoskin, you see. So you jump in, you see what's going on. It's all crowded here. So use the L on your keyboard, it will arrange stuff for you better. So as you can see, this is the geo that it copies. And then everything from here, attributes to bone capture lines, solid conform, embed out. These are all part of the capturing and binding the bones to the character. All right. So let's go back. So this is how our character is bounded to the skeleton. All right, cool. So let's go back. Control B. And we can go back to the object level. So how do we get an input like this simple female thing? So the same, you right click on your access and you come down, you have type properties and you click on it. Here you have so many things. If like we gonna spend time on digital access, like we will jump into the properties, it's very complex, but that is not what we are interested in. We want to give it just one input. Now it's 0. So let's give it just 1. And you have to apply or accept. So let's apply first and then accept. So now we have an input for our digital access. You see, we have a parent input for it. So network input 1. Okay. So that's all we need to do right now. We can lock it back. You right click on it and you say match current definition. Okay, match current definition. At this point, I can turn it back off so we can see the female character real quick. And let's turn the hammer too. So how do you see this lady's character picker? I need the bike off too, so we have room for the viewport. All right, so pretty much simple, just like we did the auto rig that have it panel too. So you come to the add panel and then drop it to character picker. Okay, it also have file system. You can save it or load something you work on already. Load from digital access, like we are working on our character, or save it. Save to a separate file on your computer or save it to the digital access. Like this character, the character picker is not from my computer. It's part of it. You see, so when it says save to the digital asset, that is what it means. It don't go to your computer. It's part of the file. Like when I click here, it's part of it. So it's part of the installation or part of your digital assets. So how do we see it? Okay, we're not looking to bring anything, so we have to grab this lady We come here, and here, simple female one. We select it and accept. So this is the character picker for it. So maybe I can blow it out bigger. You can zoom in too, and so you can see everything. All right, so this character have, you know, everything probably like the auto rig, but it have an eye control. We can move the eye, you know, left and right. It have all these controls. So this is what we're going to build, you know, these controls. So now if I come to selection and I click on the IK, you see it's selected for me to start working on it. Okay, I can click on the head, and I can start moving it. All right, I can manually come here, use selection, and control the eyes left and, you know, back and forth. So if that is set, it's not everything that is set here, you know. So for example, this right arm twist is not set in the character picker. So if you want to use it, you have to manually come here and use it. You can set it too. You can put it right here. So that is what we're going to learn. So we're not going to build everything, but when you get an idea, stuff that you need, you have them on your character picker. That's all it is. All right, so let's jump back quick to our character and see how we will start working on it. So I'll close this character picker and I won't save it. Come to the main thing and then delete this. So it was just to show you, so we really don't need it. And I'll delete the simple female. We can turn back our character on. What we can do first is, because it's digital access, we can create a character picker for it. You can only create character picker post library, you know, for a digital access. If we create our own rig and we don't turn it to digital access, we cannot have a character picker for it. So that is one thing to note. So let's bring back the panel. Okay, and let's get it bigger. So right now, say load one from a digital access. So let's try to load our character and see what happens. So this is our rider 4. This is the original rider, remember, and our digital access is named rider 4. Okay, so accept. You see, it will say selected node does not contain a character picker layout. Okay, so that layout is what we are about to build. So very simple stuff. So we don't have one for it. So accept, okay, and set and get yourself ready. So in order for us to set this out, we have to come here and pick our rider. You see, so it will create a new one for us. Okay, so this is the template. If we want to save it to the file on our computer, we can do that, or we can save it to this character. Let's try to be like Houdini. Let's save it to the character. Don't have anything in right now. So this is where you come to the settings, and you see it says set background from viewport, okay, or from file. If you want to use the same picture here, or you have a picture on your computer, you can use that. If you want to use the grade or snap, very simple stuff. So let's set the background. What we're going to do is we're going to use this character right here, but I don't want the rigs come in. I want it to be very simple and plain. So let's go back here and let's turn off the controls. Okay, remember, we can come in and turn off the controls and the bones off. All right, so it's very simple. Even the grade, it can it can capture the grade for you, but we don't want the grade. We want it to be very nice and plain. So I will leave it. It's like you are taking a picture. You have to make sure it's right in the middle and nice. Okay, so that it will capture around everything like that. Okay, so let's go back to the layout. Okay, we can zoom in the middle mouse. Okay, so we see everything. And now from the settings, set background from viewport. Boom, there you go. So we have the background. Okay, so from here we can start adding our selections. Okay, very cool stuff. So we can start adding our selection. So what I will do is that in the next class we will start, putting our selection and the pickers in. All right, very cool stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next class. All right, have a nice day. We want to use a walk basic animation right here. See, it comes in, he walks forward. Okay, so at frame 26, that clip is done. There's no more. Okay, he only walked not too far, just a few distance. So we go back to one, he start walking. So at frame 26, he's done. But let's say we have like all this area in our scene. If we are working here in Houdini, we are not taking it to Unity or Unreal or any other game engine, and we are just working here in Houdini, but we want him to walk around our environment, right? So, you're not going to have to animate all the walkings he will do. All right, you can use this same clip, but how do you use it? Let's call it again. So at frame 26, these ones end. So 27, let's call the animation again. So it comes, right? But what happened? If we start playing, it goes back to the origin to start. Okay, from the first frame, our first clip, he comes and he ends at 26. Okay, so you would think that from 27 going, he will still move forward because we added more clips, right? But guess what? When we go forward, he will go back before he comes back to the same spot. So it's just like we didn't do nothing. Just like you can even shorten your timeline and it will do the same. It will loop back and forth like that. So that is not what we want. So from 27, we want him to keep walking from the last 26. When we go to 26, he's here. All right, let's work with the grade. See, from frame 1, he's at 0. Okay, and from at frame 26, the right leg is at 1. Okay, walk 1 unit here. All right, so you would think that we add the same clip, he will walk another unit to about 2, but he goes back. See, he goes back and come back to 1. So that is not what we want. He passed 1 a little bit because we have the clip, there's a gap here. Okay, so how do you find out why he's walking forward, how you fix it, and how you get him to walk continuous? It's kind of like something I think you guys should know. How you find out, you would think that normally the root motion, how he moves forward, are on the master. Remember, this is the master root. So let's look. If we click on the master root and we bring out the animation editor, what do we see? See that there are some keys on it. Okay, there are some keys on it. So moving forward is what? Moving forward is the Z. Okay, so remember I showed you guys how to grab just one axis you want to work on. So if we grab the Z axis, everything is on the straight line, everything is at the zero. See look at it, the mouse, you see every key is zero. See, there's no movement at all. For all the keys are all straight. So there is no movement over here on the master root. The keys are there because all the keys were key at zero. You see here, everything is zero. There's no movement. To test that if there will be a movement, let's say at zero, or let's come to like say frame 3. At frame 3, we grab this key and we start moving, and you see there's movement. See, if it's going back, it will go down on this side of the graph, right? And if we come here, it's moving forward. So moving forward, animation will start shifting from the main line. See, that's the straight line right here. It's the main line. Any shift means there's been an animation. You see now, this 0 is now 0.047. It moved forward this distance. Okay, that's the graph. So that's how you know there's an animation on the timeline in the graph. Okay, so we can undo that. Okay, and have it at 0. And now we still have to figure, so where is the movement coming from? So basically, it's not here. Okay, it's not on the Z for the root. And all these are crazy little tweaks that you enemy. So how will you go in and mess it up? So you start thinking and worried, right? So let's see if maybe X, there's nothing on X. They are all 0. See, the same as Y, because the animation did not touch the root. It only put keys there. All right. So literally we can go to Z, and just to make sure we know it's not these keys, we can select these keys, right click or from your keyboard and delete. See, so the Z gets 0. There's no keys. There's no keys on the Z, but still, he can still move forward. See, he's still moving forward. That means there's something else controlling what? The forward movement. All right. So when we were rigging, if you remember, this would be the master rig, the center of gravity. But the center of gravity here is controlling the stuff that are up. So if you move that forward, some of the stuff will not come with it. Okay, so definitely that will not control the forward movement. So we can check it. We can go in and you see it's similar. There was some movement on back and forth on the Y a little bit, but the Z going forward is straight. See, the Z is just like the base root. It's very straight. There is no curves. Everything is 0. See, so we are getting close to where the problem is. So it's not the Z either. So we can close this. So which one of these controllers will have a forward movement that can move everything? That's the question. Okay, I know some of you guys know this answer to it. So it's definitely the hip or the pelvis. So which of these ones control the hips and the pelvis? Is this one right here. So if we click on it, we cannot go inside our dictator because we haven't opened it, but you guys know You know, when we created our array, you know the hips and the pelvis, they control, everything is linked to it. All right, it's kind of like the master thing. All right, so if we go back and we checked, see, there's movement. See, you see that the Z is shifting up, giving it movement. This is the last animation. That's why it's two of them. The Z is shifting up because it started from 0. He didn't move forward. Then it started, as it's moving forward, there's been a distance from, you see the dotted lines are the straight line. So if you don't move, everything will be straight going here. If you move, they're shifting. So from 0, he was still 0. The Z is the one we are looking at. He was still at 0. Then a couple frames, frame 1, he's moving up. So you see 007. So it will get wider. He's moving straight forward. See, so there's been a distance. All right. So that is how you know that this is the one that is causing the problem. It's not a problem. He's moving. That is making him move forward. It's just that we don't want him to move forward and jump back and forth as we are adding more animations, right? So what do you do? All you have to do is select these keys and delete. Okay, right click, delete, or from your keyboard. Okay, so you delete these keys, that moves forward. Now he's free. What we have now is an in-place animation. That means the animation is going to happen, but it's going to happen only here. Okay, so if we move, you see all the animation is happening here, even including the one we just added to. So we find a solution. So in the next class, we will look at how, we can get it to move and everything works better for us. Okay, so one thing before we end this class, one thing you have to know, when you go in for the hips or the pelvis root animation, make sure you only do, if you are looking to delete the Z, the forward movement, make sure you grab that one, because it's possible that it could have movement on Y and Z animation, right? This time he don't have it. If you are doing an animation, he's going forward, but at the same time he's jumping back and forth, the animator can use this hips to do that, something. So you have to check and only delete the Z axis. All right, okay, cool. So how do you get him moved now that you have the in-place animation? It's very simple, right? So at this time, let's get all our clips closer. How you do that, you click on the last one, you go over it holding down the shift, right? You guys know that to move it, middle mouse down and move it to 26. You see the last number is 26 and you drop it there. Okay, you probably lose one, but it's okay. Hold shift, grab that one and delete that. Okay, because we already have more of that. So at frame 50, we can shorten our animation to probably like 52. Okay, so it's okay this way. Okay, so all these 52 frames, he's walking at the same place. Okay, he's walking at the same place. There's no movement at the Z. Okay, at this point, how he moves is up to you. So many ways you can move him. You can animate the root master right now, move him forward around your scene, or you can do something else. You can have a path constraint. You can constrain him to so many objects in your scenes, like a target that he will go to. You can write a script, H script, for him to get around your scene. Okay, cool, thanks. Okay guys, welcome. Let's look at a rig, okay, and see how it works, okay, how you get around it real quick. All right, so let's set up the scene. Let's turn off the bike and the helmet, and I'll also jump into the material palette, and for the character, um, I'll change the body texture real quick. Use I have this red blue that I used before. I'll do the same for the band, and I'll switch, get back. So all these materials and switching, we did that what in the direct modeling course. So if if you are not comfortable using it, you can check that course. It will show you all this stuff. All right. Okay. Cool. So still, let me get the background darker so we can see the rig much better. Okay. So there's a lot of controls. We can even see that the hands have a lot of controls going on. That is because each finger still can bend like 2 or 3 times, right? We all know. So if, for example, if I get out and I'll select this finger, get on rotation, I can rotate just that finger, right? That's cool. So I can also come to the hand, right? And from the options, this hand right here, the controls, the curl will move all the fingers for that hand, okay, like that. See, so that is cool too. You have 2 more stuff you can do. If you have animations like that, you can do all this kind of stuff, okay. So it's basically built like a human being, right? So these all controls have something to do. So what we want to look at in this class is how we will switch between FK and IK, and we will also touch some of the technical aspect on the rig. Okay, so the FK means forward kinesmatic, and IK means inverse kinesmatic, and it's like the reverse of the FK. And this is how the FK works. So if we come to the left arm, we see that there's a blend between FK and IK. Now it's one, it means it's on full IK. That's why we have the IK control here, okay, that we can move the body like that, okay. If we switch it to full FK, we will have rotation here. So if I call rotation, I can now rotate the upper arm like that, right? And the forearm and the fingers, the index, everything here, they are following, right? That is parent-child relation. When the parent is moving forward down, all the kids down, they are moving with it. That is forward kinesmatic. And the inverse, if we go back and I push it back to 1, the inverse is the movement of the kids towards the parent, and then things are pushing aside, so the kids coming and all the kids in the middle kind of stepping aside, creating this movement like real human being. So that is how you will switch between the FK and the IK. We will have a class. I will show you guys how to pick. When you use the control menu, you can pick between FK and IK for the shoulders. It will be there. That will be a character picker class, okay. So what else we want to look at right now quick, because we're going to do little animation for the course, right? So you get to see how we animate and all that, but there are some technical aspects I don't want to be part of the animation. I want to show you guys real quick. So these controls here, they are all part of the rig, okay. So if I come in, because we are on IK, right? If I come in right now and I select the center of gravity, this center of gravity, everything up here is linked to it. That is from the spine up, see. See, from the spine bone here up, all the stuff that are linked to it are children to it. So if we move that, everything up should come down. All right. But if I move it now, let's see what will happen. See, only the middle part is moving. Control Z. If I rotate it, only the middle part of the spine is rotating. Why is doing that? Control Z. It's doing that because you have to come in and tell the chest and things up here. This is the spine tab we are working on. So each one is separate for each part of it. So you're having a problem somewhere, it's more. You have to come in individually and look at it. So for the spine, what we need is that we have to set the chest to follow the center of gravity. All the children's up here to follow. Okay, so we will bring that up. So that are some of the little changes you have to make to the rig before you start animating. So now if I rotate, see, all the top stuff are trying to come. And because we are using kinesmatic IK, the hands will stay there. See, the hands will stay there. So if I have to move, I have to bring the FK down with it. Okay, so the more extreme poses I'm making, I have to go with the FK, you know. So that is how you move stuff down close to the body. You can grab the whole axis like that and bring it to where you want. You know, you always have to be at the right angle of the screen or the view when you are moving stuff. Here you can switch real quick, get the hands to be where they are, see, based on the axis. So you have to get familiar with the axis, the Y for the green for the Y axis, the blue for Z, and then the red for the X axis. So you can know that if I want to turn the hands this way, I have to grab this that way. If I want it this way, I have to do it that way. If I want it this way. So you see how you control this stuff. All right. So let's get very crazy extreme pose for the body. So if I grab the center of gravity and I bring it way down, you see what happened? Everything messed up, right? Control Z. That is because these twists are what? They always have to be in front. These twists, they always have to be in front of the character. Okay? So when you are posing extreme pose, they are moving. See? And when they move past the body, you see, you get these weird things happening to the character. And you wonder, whoa, what's going on? You messed up the character. Maybe you didn't do a good rigging. But that is not it. It's because the twists have passed where they're supposed to be. So if now I start to bring them out back to where they're supposed to be, you control them with translation. If I bring them, you see, the legs are fixing. See, so that is how you get that fix. So now it's very extreme pose, and still you can see that there is no messed up to the body. See, you can only tell that it's having difficult, very hard extreme pose right now. So maybe at this point you think about bringing it down, okay, to where it's supposed to be. And maybe that is the translation. For the bending of the body, you can help him by bringing the rotation up a little bit. Look at the head. You see it's messed up based on this extreme pose we have. So there's a control here with translation. You can help the body, see. So all this stuff that you have, they all have use for the body. So when you are animating, you have to think about all of them and see what is going on. They all help you, and it makes the animation easy for you. So if you want this movement for this part of the body, you see, just this movement will give you that animation. So every piece here, they will have something to do with the body. Okay, cool. So now let's look at the hands twisting. So you already talk about it. Now this extreme pose, if I come to translate, I can help the body and get stuff to be where they're supposed to be. You know, put the hands, get a better posture. Come here, switch to translation, bring it down, you know, and help the animation get right. Tumble and get stuff going to where they're supposed to be. All right. So you see, with this extreme pose and moving the twists and all the other stuff that are helping the body, you can see that you get very nice pose for the character. Okay, so if I bring it to the right, you see now I'm fixing this area that was messed up. Now I have to bring the hands a little down, see, to help get that natural pose for the character. Even here, I can come in and move the middle part up, if I want. If it's too squeezed down, I can bring it up like that. Just small tweaks will help the character look right. Okay, just small stuff. So all these pieces on a rig will help you to do something. So as you are doing and you are animating and stuff are getting weird, that is how you have to think about all this little stuff that goes with the character. Okay, if you bring it, you can switch between rotation and get the legs to rotate. Okay, so that is how you control the character. But when we do our little animation for this course, you will see very simple. We will start posting this at frames, and then you get this extreme and nice animation you want. All right, if you work on your own project, it's always good to know about animations too. So that is how you get around. So I will see you in the next class. Have a nice day. Okay, guys, let's continue. But before we start working, there's a little bit update I want to give you on the installation of the in between. I find out that the change of the colors work fine when I used it in Houdini 17.0. Okay, so let's see real quick. I was trying to test it in Houdini 17.0, and this is what I found. So let's check that quick. 17.5, 17.0. Okay, Python 2.7 lips, right? And you know what I find out? I find out that this is where all the other, like auto rig and all the character pickers, this is where they all goes, which means this is where the Python scripts goes. I put it here, I put one here, and I also have one at the thing, at the Python side, and it works fine. Try to update yours and have a copy at Houdini Python 2.7 lips, all right? And because that is where most of the stuff that we install they are, right? We go in, we see auto rig, character picker, crowds. So I think this is where it belongs, all right? Okay, that's just a little update I want to give you, because in 17.0 it works fine. The colors change and everything is great. Even here at 17.5 right now, the colors work, all right? But the colors are not as smooth um, as in 17.0, but it could be just my setting for my viewport, all right? As long as you can get the change of the colors, that means it's good, all right? Okay, cool. So, and I also made a little update, okay? So we can kill all the ghosts right now. Kill the ghost. And at 16, at frame 16, you know, we will select everything and also make sure that TikTok access is selected. And now we can create with the color we want. Let's say we want this as the beginning color, and then we create ghost. Okay, so we go to 20. See that? It's right there. So we go to 20. Right now I skipped 20. I'm doing it. The next ghost at 24 because it get crowded over here. Okay, so the next ghost will be 24, and we can probably get like blue or something like this color, you know, and create another ghost. Okay, and this is where we left at the last class on this somersault, right? So I went ahead and I add 4 more frames. So at 28, he get this pose, right? So he's kind of like about to land. Okay, so that is the update we have right now. So at 28, he's landing. I know you guys can do that pose. So at 24, he's at this pose, and 28, you create this yourself. Okay, that's the only thing I did. It's just because I was testing these in between once more time because I know it's supposed to work, right? So I was double checking the installation. All right, that's when I spent some time on it. All right, cool. So let's create another ghost here. Let's get probably like, so we have a few ghosting. The next thing I want to show you, since we have this pose, I want to create the last pose. The last pose before we fill in the in between. Remember the one I showed you, there was another ghost at the end of it. Let's do that. So how you do that, at this point we can deselect, and over here at, so the last frame is 28. Okay, so I will copy the relax pose. You see, the relax pose will be almost the same as when after he landed, right? So after he land and he get up, he will be relaxed. So let's copy the relax pose. That will be frame 4. Okay, I just want to show you this copy thing because that will help you. The rest you guys can do it. So to get frame 4, I have to get everything selected. All right, so at frame 4, that is where all the relax keys is, right? See, he's relaxed right now. Okay, he's relaxed right now. and we can turn off the ghost. So he's relaxed right now. What we want to do is we want to copy. I can see that the keys are fade. You see over here, it's not green. That means they are not fully keyed. All right. So let's then at frame 4 we key again. Okay. So now everything is green. You see, everything is green. So what we have to do now is to copy this pose. You right click and copy. Okay. So let's turn ghost on so you guys see what's going on at the end where the foot is about to land. The next thing is to come to the frame where we think it will be our last pose. So I'm thinking around like 40. Okay. I'm thinking around like 40 will be the last pose. All right. So Control V to paste the relaxed pose over here. Okay. Got the paste for 40, right? So we have a copy there, but it's still at this area. But the end of the animation, we want this relaxed copy to be the same as the last. So we have to bring it. It's still at 40 and it's auto key. So you come to regular translation and then you move the whole thing from that position to where the last pose will be. So like me, I would like it to line up with the feet around here. You see, so that is where the last pose will be. Let's get a ghost over here. And when we go back, you see, when you do that, what happened is the movement, when you play anything after 28 will messed up because there are no better keys in between. So now it's easy for us to do what? To line up things, and at 28 call for another copy post, right? 4 frames. Let's do it. So we will be at 32. So at 32 we have to straight up things. Okay, let's match the foot down. He's landing. Okay, you really don't have to do this when you are animating. You can just keep adding 4 frames and you reach here. But I want to show you tricks, you know. Okay, so what kind of pose we looking for here? You see, this is the same pose like he's coming. If you just do it like this, he will look like he's sliding and coming. So we at this pose, he landed, right? So he's kind of leaning down. So let's try to get that. Okay. Okay, what we have now, this landing is like he landed and sitting down. That would be nice, right? But when you land like that, you don't sit down like that. So let's get the hands down more, and then he will bend, like the head will come down. When you land like that, it's almost like you falling. You controlling your body to still stay up. All right. So let's get that extreme pose. So we can do that at the next copy post, but let's get this one shot because it's fast at this point. You landing real quick. Okay, so let's do all that pose, the extreme landing at this pose. Okay, at this frame. Okay, so you get an extreme pose like this. You see, he landed, right? So let's look from this angle. See, it's not bad. I mean, you could tweak it, get the legs closer, but let's try to move a little faster. So he land like this. So the next pose, he will try to like raise himself up a little bit. Okay, four more frames. Boom. You will end up with the relaxed pose like that. So I'll see you in the next class where we will work on pose library. Okay, guys, let's see how we will rotate it, this flipping, how we will get it. All right. So we are at frame 20. Let's select everything and copy the pose to four more frames. So at 24, we can change this pose. All right. We had a copy of it. So how we going to flip it? What comes to your mind? So this is the root, right? That holds everything. So you would think like, okay, let's rotate that. You see? Or what about the center of gravity? Let's rotate that. You see, each one of them is going to give us like, some weird rotations. And besides that, you don't want to like, move the root node in the air unless depending on this type of animation we want the root node to stay in the bottom. So let's try to rotate everything like this. See, it will give us weird rotation because everything is moving on its local rotation. So stuff like crazy happening, right? So let's undo that. Okay. And we are on 24, so we don't have to worry about selecting everything. Let's select the root, which holds everything, and let's rotate just the root. This is just for the example. See, see what is happening. So if you do this, you see where it will go. So the animation will go through all this. So if you are doing backflip, you don't go down on, below the F before you flip. All right. so that is definitely going to be wrong. If in a critical situation, as you are rotating, you use translate to bring him up, but we don't want to do though. That is like, you know, not professional at all. It's going to give you so many unstable situations, right? So that is out. So Control Z. So we are thinking about the center of mass and the center of gravity. The whole object, where is the weight? The weight will be around this area, right? Because it's not going to, rotate from the legs like we're trying to do. And here we are rotating it in the middle. So this one will be the right rotation, right? So, and that one is only getting what? The top part of the body. See, and the legs, we have to get it ourselves. All right. That is how we will start getting the flip. All right. So little and little, we can go down small, you know. But before we do that, let's bring the legs closer to him, to the body. Okay. Get natural pose, you know. So this is how the animation will go through. The legs will move like that. They will kind of trying to get closer to the body. See, and then we will flip the middle center of gravity. We will start rotating it down, something like that. You know, get the hands, just like we've been doing. So I will try and move faster at this stage, okay? Okay, at this stage, the body is somersaulting, right? So it kind of get compact. The body's kind of folding itself. That's what we're trying to get right now. So let's get the hands to like to the nails or something. All right. Each frame, the twist need to be at the right place. Okay, that's what is going on. So let's start with the right leg twist. Okay, right leg twist. So it looks a little bit natural for just the first frame at frame 21. See, so the interpolation couldn't you know, get it right for us. So we have to each frame when you flipping stuff like that, you always have to come in each frame and tweak it. All right. So from 20, that's our pose that we have, even goes on. And then 21 is the one we just tweak. You see, so when you are doing frame by frame, you won't know. It will be hard for you to say, okay, at frame 21, it will get to this pose, right? It will be so hard. But when you do pose to pose and you come in each frame, the computer or the system, the interpolation, trying to get it. So if you don't get it right, then you will know, okay, this is the posture I was trying to get, and you straight things up like we just did. All right. So let's see what happened at frame 22. Okay. At frame 22, it's now bad. The head is going down, hands and stuff, but you can see here the legs need helps and stuff. All right. So let's go in and tweak it. Okay, guys, so it's okay for 22. So it's flipping, right? The interpolation is flipping right now. So at this stage, it can be any pose like this, it's fine. Then let's see what happened at 23. At 23, um, it's more messed up here. Wow. So let's look for, it's not that bad though. Let's get stuff spread a little bit. So, See, so it's getting itself to flip to the last joint. Okay. All right. So 24. Boom. See. So that's how quick they happen. 24 is the last one. So you have this pose. So at this time when we're going through, it won't look crazy. You see, 22, 21, and then 20. See. So that's how you will fix. It's kind of tedious and crazy, but you take your time like that because it's really hard to post it with the twist and all these angles. The calculations behind the scene, getting all these quaternions, rotations going on. You'd be like, whoa. So you also have to take your time and get it right. Okay. So the next pose, you flip, get this pose, and then it's smooth transition getting down. Okay. So in the next class, we will get that pose and we will be done with these animations. All right. All right, cool guys. I'll see you in the next class. Okay, guys, so let's get ready to give it an extreme anticipation. All right. You see, at this pose, he can take off with this pose. But when you give it that type of anticipation, it make the animation looks better. Before we do that, we're not gonna get that pose at the same frame we have this pose. So what we do, we have to select everything, right? And add 4 more frames, copy pose. So at frame 12, you will start working. We will click outside. So in case we have these items selected, right? The center of gravity, we still have these same keyframes on the timeline. So if we don't want this pose, the one we just did, okay, the from frame 12 pose, if we don't want it, we right click on the playhead. We have, or anywhere in the timeline, we will have these menu, right? So if we delete the keys for that frame, it's gone. So it looks like we don't have any key there, but if I select this left arm IK, we see I still have a key at frame 12. So in case you want to delete the whole copy pose, you have to select everything, okay? And then you delete all the keys on everything at that frame, okay? So now there is no pose anywhere until we go back to 8, okay? Also, let's do one more thing before we continue, all right? Because let's do it again. Copy all the pose to 12. If I select everything, I cannot just grab by clicking or holding down the right mouse and trying to move the keyframe. So how will you move the keys around? Okay, you hold down shift, you left click, and you drag over the keys you want to move. Okay, you can drag more area. See, you grab stuff by grabbing over it. Okay, you click outside on the timeline. your selection will be gone. It's just like you selecting stuff. So you hold down shift, you you drag over the keys you want to delete or you want to move. How you move it? You hold down middle mouse and then you move the key you want to move. It will be highlighted and it's asking for where you want to drop it. When you drop it, you see it will move from where it was to the new location. That is how you move keys around. Okay, I'll show you more on the timeline, but as we are going, we will get more. So basically, that is how you will delete stuff. So everything is selected. This is the 12 frame that we move here. So we can shift, drag over it, right click and delete that key. Okay, so we go back to 8, frame 8, where we have our last extreme pose. Copy to frame 12. Okay, cool. So I want to show you that extreme pose for the hands that I'm talking about. See, these kind of movement, you might even find a way to move stuff around very easy. That's why you have to mess with it. But always there are some, general ways that most people use. Like now, if I want to grab the hand to go to the back of the head, I'll grab the whole set of the axis, right? I'll grab from the middle and I'll move across the face of the view. You see, now bring it back here. See, the hands will be crooked, right? The hands will be crooked. So at this point, you can switch to rotation and get a little rotation, right? See, and you are aiming for the back of the head, right? So the rotation of the hand at this angle, I can go back to this, switch to translate, and use the Y, bring it across the face of the viewport. See, so you still kind of, aiming for the back of the head, get more rotation, get the hands like that. Just you can let it stay at natural pose where everything is smooth. Move it to the back, rotate. Don't worry, it's very bad right now, but that is where the twist come in. Okay, so we will grab the twist with translate, okay, and we start moving it around to see how best it will help. So you test the axis. See, so it have to come in front of the body at this situation, you see. So the twist will help you get this extreme pose for the hands right now. So at this point, we can go back to the right hand, grab it forward, rotate the hands a little bit, go back to the twist. By the way, you see, I had two objects selected at the same time, but it's okay. So let's grab, that's why that movement created this weird, but it's okay. Let's move the twist back. See, this is where it's supposed to be. Back like that. See, now we are getting the hands to the back, little and little. So this is animating. And then we will get some rotation going on. So when you spend more time, this movement, you will find your ways around and you will do them real quick. All right. So switch, translate, bring the hands close to the head, switch, rotate, get the hands, that posture, go back. You see now I can find, I don't know which one is the right arm twist. So you find this thing very useful. Right arm twist, I'll grab it, call for translation, zoom out, be at the right posture, and try to, get to where it's supposed to be. Grab this, move it down. All this time, the twist have to come in because every movement is creating a different posture. right here, the right arm twist, and I'll move it kind of like this area. It's fine. All right. So you see, little and little, you have the hands at the back of the head. And then you check the shoulder. You see, the shoulder is not bad. Okay. So it's kind of, it feels natural, right? See the armpit, you get that extreme pose there. At this point, you can zoom in and mess with it, the rotation of the hands a little bit, get it more natural, right? Something like that. It's cool. So are you going to spend all this time and do it for the left hand? Maybe not. Okay. So I will show you. We still at frame 12. We gain all our poses at that frame. So what I would do is, so far, what did we move? We only move the arm twist and the hands IK. So we will select that as it is right now, and we will shift and select this arm twist, right? Make sure is the one. So you get that one, okay? You right click on the key and you copy. Okay, you copy. So at this point, you will do the same for the left hand. You will select the the left hand, sorry, click outside, select the left hand, shift and select. Let's get it from the radar, left arm twist right here. Shift, select that one, and then the same procedure, right click, but this time what? Paste. Boom. So we will have, so it's kind of helping us, do less work. So we have it at the back there, but you still have to go in and mess with the twist. Just like that. So he's extremely anticipating to jump, right? But this is soft. So we have to bring him way down. So where do we go? We come to the center of gravity and drop him way down. Okay, stream. At this point, we will leave it here. Grab the hands at the same time. Left hand, shift, right hand, and just drop it down. Okay. Right, cool. So we have this pose where he's getting an extreme anticipation to jump. Okay. So what is next? We can see how things are going. So you go to frame 8, getting ready, the first anticipation, relax, frame 4, and then the T pose. You see, so this is pose to pose animation, all right? And all the in-betweens we talk about, the computer is animating for you. So right now at frame 12, you get this extreme pose. We will come in and make light tweaking to get smooth animation, all right? But we are interested in how you get these poses, all right? So the next will be the takeoff, right? The stretching and the takeoff. How you do that? You select everything. Every copy pose, you have to select everything. You don't want to just move the center of gravity to the next 4 frame and then leave everything. So everything goes to the next pose, right? So 4, you go to 16. At 16, he's about to get crazy stretch, all right? See, can even bring it right forward a little bit. So you are bringing the character up. Okay, you see this little movement here can be when we do post library, you can copy these postures, right? You can copy these poses and save them. What can you do with this animation? It's like when you are, in a gym, this is a form of animation. You can create this animation from these postures, right? You are exercising. The hands, the IK helps the fingers or the hands to be at one place, and then just the body moving down. The IK kicking in at the legs gives you this, gym animation. But that is not what we are going for right now. Let's go for our extreme stretch. Let's bring the body up. Okay. To a point where the legs feel like it's tearing or it's kind of getting off the ground. All right. So we have this extreme pose. You can bend the body a little bit. See? So because the anticipation for the jump is what? For rotation. It's not straight up into the air, right? So rotation, as the body is going up, it's preparing itself for rotate. You see, so you will help the body small, as it's getting these extreme posting, right? You can stretch it a little bit. Feels like it. It feels like he's really taking off, right? So you have to feel it too. And you look at the arms and see if you will need a twist. That is up to you. Okay. So you get it more natural. Okay. All right, cool. So we have this extreme pose and we can test it. All right, you go back, you see this is similar to what we have, right? So T pose, T pose, anticipate first, second extreme anticipation, which is at 12, then take off. All right. All right, cool guys. So in the next class, I will do one more pose, or two poses to show you the about to flip situation, and the rest I'll let you do it as an assignment, all right, to finish the pose. But there are certain things we will talk about in the next class, the taking off, which of the staff have to go with it to the sky, all right. Sometimes you don't have to take everything to the